Hello, everyone. Welcome to. Is my mic on? Let me just make sure, because we're doing a lot of this stupid stuff with the mic off. Welcome back to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. So we might be back. Like we might need to send an announcement to the streets that we are back. Bayern are signing some really interesting players, man. Wow, Olise, Olise. Nah, man. I'm actually excited. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a big deal. I mean, the fact that we're getting one of the best young wingers in the world. We went from trying to sign Fulrich. Bro, by the way, I watched Fulrich. He tried one shot in the Euros, and I thought he was a bum. So he's a bum. I don't need to watch more. The fact that he even tried to attempt that shot. If you're a real baller, you know, the shot's not on. I can't do it. At least get it on target. He's a bum. Not for Bayern. So Olise is a really interesting player because he's a winger, left or right winger, sorry, left-footed, Leroy Sané position. This is good for Sané. I think Sané is going to stay because it's company, and company is going to want to keep his, friend and former teammate, and I guess Sané out of all our wingers is the most consistent, which is not saying much. You know, it's none of our wingers are good. Sane is good for the first half of the season. For some reason, his motivation levels are just really high, and then you get around December and he just flops. By the way, guys, tell me. So you know how we normally have that break between December and February for the Champions League? Do we still have it with this new format? Because if we don't, I think that's a good thing for us. If we don't get a break for 2 months away from, European football, I know we still have the, 3 week break in the Bundesliga, whatever. I think it's better for Bayern to just still have games in the Champions League. I really think that's a difference maker, right? Because Prem teams are normally just more prepared in the second half of the season. Actually, teams from all the other leagues, because they kept playing, whereas Bundesliga teams have to come back and get back into rhythm. And by the time it's March, April, the level's not as high. So I wonder if they have to do a research study on that. I guess we'll find out. So, guys, do we have Champions League games in January now? Because I know there's like 4 extra match days, right? Or is it 2? If it's just 2, then I don't really see how they're going to sandwich it in between. Yeah, they can just put one game in like the middle of December and then the next game in January. Maybe that's what they're going to do. I don't know. You guys let me know. Let me know that right now because I have to know. You haven't checked? Please check because I really want Champions League games around Christmas. Like these players don't need Christmas. Like, you don't need breaks. Play for my entertainment. You're a tap dancing monkey. Keep doing what I'm asking you to do. All right. Well, Elise is a really strong signing from Herbal. I'm gonna be honest. Peter Griffin. Hey, Lois. Man. Look, I underestimated you. By the way, let me just tell you guys something. So I don't normally take my wallet out of my room. Rarely do you ever see me take my wallet anywhere. Hold on, let me do something really quick. So I don't ever take my wallet anywhere. Even when I drive, I just assume I'll never be pulled over because I've never been pulled over. So I guess I just forgot my wallet for about a week and then I needed it yesterday, so I went to take it and I didn't see it on my desk. I searched this entire house and I did not put this wallet anywhere. Dude, I wanted to cry. When you just lose something, you're just like, man, how could I lose it? My wallet. I thought about everything. I called the gym and I knew they didn't have my wallet because I would never take my wallet to the gym. That's stupid. Just keep it in the car in a hidden spot. whatever, or keep it at home. I don't take it anywhere. Then last night before I went to sleep in my depression, I thought I went to the dealership last week to fix my car. Yeah, there was a recall. Apparently there was something they needed to check. So I scheduled it. And last week I went to the appointment, and I remember giving my card information to someone on the phone, but I didn't realize I because I have my details memorized, but this is important, so I needed to double check. So I remember using my wallet at the dealership. That's the last time I used it. Called the dealership this morning. Like, I couldn't sleep for like an hour because I just kept thinking about, I'm gonna get my wallet back, because I spent the whole day just depressed. I'm gonna get my wallet back. So I wake up, pray. First thing I do, call the dealership. Yo, they don't answer. I thought it was like a holiday today where maybe they just weren't open. So I just drove there. And lo and behold, some lady put it in her office. I kid you not, I told that lady I would like to marry you and propose to you because you just saved me. I don't know how hard it is. I don't know if you guys know how hard it is to get a replacement driver's license and then call my bank and be like, yo, I don't know where my wallet is. I lost all my cards. And then I got to call the other credit card company. I have about 4 cards. I got to call the business bank account. Oh my God, bruh. That would have been a horrible, horrible way to spend my, weekend and all. But yeah, I'm glad I have my wallet. So speaking of wallet, Chelsea, that's why I had to connect this somehow. Chelsea, you're broke. Chelsea is that guy that gets rejected and he's like, I never wanted you anyways. That's what Chelsea are. Because Chelsea are acting like, we weren't really interested like that. We didn't really want to spend the money. It makes no sense. If Olise said, hey, Crystal Palace, I'm joining Chelsea, Chelsea would have paid the money because that's what they do. They didn't link themselves to Olise without the possibility of knowing they had to spend money. They had to have known we have to spend 70 million. So Olise picked Bayern, and then Chelsea came out. The links came out. Chelsea withdrew. Bro, you didn't withdraw, bro. You were never in the club, man. You didn't leave the club. You weren't inside. Olise picked FC Bayern. FC Bayern. Deutsche Meister. Okay, Champions League starts on... Wait. Nah, that's not what I mean. Do we have games in December or nah? So, okay, this is good. Like, I'm in love with this news. This means after, like, in January, we're going to have games. But what I mean is, like, usually the Champions League campaign ends in, like, November, like, towards the last week of November. And then we get that whole 2 to 3 months where it's just depressing. So tell me about December. Do we have Champions League games in December? But that's huge. Also, are these games knockouts or what are we still waiting? Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. So you're saying these players aren't getting no rest. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So, guys, we're going to get Champions League. What is this? We're going to get the Champions League all the time. Yeah, I hate the whole league thing. I guess now it's really the Champions League. We all hate things until we really try them, Like, no, we hate everything until you eat it and you're like, it wasn't that bad. I thought it'd be horrible. So, yeah, it was like me with butter. There was a point where I hated mayonnaise and I just translated that hate towards butter because they look the same. But now I like butter. It's something I prefer to have. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll hate the league system in the Champions League, but we'll like it. And here's another thing. It's forcing Bayern to buy more players in general. Why does my black dildo that I'm talking to have all of these weird, like, pieces of dirt? Maybe I'm just spitting on my mic, but nah, it should be fine now. So, who made a mic and turned it into a black dildo, man? Hey, sure, whatever that company is. Why'd you do this? This makes me look sus. Goretzka for Kalhanoglu. Nah, we not rocking with that, man. The streets are not jiving with that. Yeah, no. Goretzka, well, Kalhanoglu is just not my cup of tea, right? Not someone I'm interested in. So Olise is going to come here and force us to, one, keep Sane because we need the depth, but force the club to sell Kingsley Coman because he's coming in and we need to replace the wage structure that he comes in to spend. So Gnabry needs to go, Kingsley Coman needs to go, and we need another attacker. So I don't mind Xavi Simons, who can also play as a winger. Now, there is a sentiment we need runners, and this is where I think company ball differs. Company is going to be stubborn about his system where we play possessional football, and he's going to be less interested in getting runners. And that's the difference between Company and Tuchel. I think under Tuchel or Nagelsmann, you need runners because those managers are very adaptable. They'll go into a big game and park the bus, but then try to play fluid football. Company is going to try to play the same way against every opponent. So that's the difference. So does Pep ever, I don't know, I mean, I guess they have Doku, who's a runner, but I don't really see Doku as a runner. I just see him as a low IQ footballer. Look, if you're going to be a runner, I need you to be like Vinicius Jr. I need you to be a runner and you're good. But even then, does Vinny just run around and make it runs every 2 seconds? No, I think if anything, Matisse Tell could be a runner off the bench. I don't know if he's Tell is funny because you think he's fast and he is, but you don't really ever see him like go on that crazy burst of pace like Vinny Jr. does because he's not a winger. But I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. So here's what I want. I want Olise to play that right wing, cutting inside, and give Sane competition. I think in the first 3 games, Sane is going to play, and then Olise is going to play. And then Sane is going to play, Olise is going to play. And Company's going to pick one of them. The only thing that kind of, makes me feel some kind of way about Olise is he has had 2 hamstring injuries. So he has gotten injured. Not like injured like forever. Like Kingsley Coman. No. He's not injury. He has gotten injuries, but I wouldn't say he's injury prone. And I'll show you the injuries right now. I mean, so he has not been injured since April. Well, I mean, then the season ended in May. So, yeah, I mean, look, this is not pretty. But at Rangers, he wasn't injured like that. Reading, whatever. Don't care. So, this is his injury history, guys. Hamstring June till November. That's bad. That's horrible. That was last. Okay, I mean, if you add context, he was only injured, once in the 2023-24 season, which is fine in context. But technically, the injury before that, he was injured going into the 2023-24 season. So in the 2022-2023 season, he got an injury from June to November. How do you get injured in June? No games going on. How do you just get injured? Yeah. I mean, what competition? I mean, the World Cup he didn't play in the World Cup. So how did he get injured in June 2023? Just out of nowhere? But I mean, but the good news is it's not stacked up. Kingsley Coman, if you take care of him, he'll be fine. That's my hope. Kingsley is injured like every other day. Crap, what did I just do? Okay, Kingsley, looky here, man. Looky here. Kingsley is injured every other week. That's the difference, I think. Kingsley will get injured in February and then April. I feel like I'd prefer a player to just miss 30 days straight and then stay fit for like 4 months and then maybe get injured again. I prefer that over you get injured, you come back 3 games, get injured. Like I prefer, one big injury, like 50 days you're out. Okay, fair. That's a month. Well, almost 2 months. But then you come back and then you got to stay fit for like 5 months, right? I prefer that over constant injuries. So that's the only thing with Olise that might trouble me for a little bit. But there is no player in the world who is actually non-injury prone. So that's the key thing you have to understand, or we all have to understand. So as much as you can look at some players and go, wow, he never gets injured. Like Kimmich. But Kimmich still got injured like that one time. I don't even remember because he rarely gets injured. Also, wingers are a lot more volatile because they use their legs in different ways than other positions. You need a dribble, you're constantly getting tackled. And Olise is the kind of player to keep the ball and try to make things happen. So he gets injured like Musiala. Messi is just a freak of nature because the guy he just skips through tackles like nothing. But most players suffer from, you know, getting tackled as often as the wingers are. Strikers, I mean, a lot of strikers injure their backs, which is so weird. But it's literally because they keep getting pushed from the back. You keep putting pressure on your back, you're gonna get injured at some point. So that's kind of funny to think about. So what do you guys think about Elise? How no Elise is a starter? Oh, I maybe you're asking me why or you're commenting on when I said we're gonna start with Sane and then Elise. Sane, I think that's how it's gonna work because the manager's gonna decide who's better at that time for a system right away. I personally think Elise just comes right in, but company's gonna want to give Sane a chance, and Sane has been here longer. Uh, but it's only going to be for a few games. I'm just trying to think of a scenario um, to see how Elise breaks into the team and becomes a starter over Sane. It's going to start with Sane first, and then Elise, and then Sane, then Elise, and then who does better gets to play every game. And then, if injuries happen, Sane comes in or Elise comes in. If Musiala gets injured, they both start. So I think this is a good sign because I wanted Bernardo Silva, and I feel like Olise is that kind of profile. He's a very technically gifted winger who isn't reliant on pace and power, but more on his decision making. And that's what I want to see. I don't want to see footballers who smack the ball down the line and then whip it in to nobody. That's what Kingsley Coman does. And then, fans are like, wow, great cross. No one was there. No, it wasn't a great cross because it didn't reach anyone. Great crosses reach a dangerous region and are good enough and have enough pace and weight to where someone can attack the cross. That's what makes it a good cross. Coman just crosses for the sake of it, not with intelligence. I mean, Dembele for me is one of the worst players. See, I look like I'll watch Frimpong and I'm like, he's one of the worst footballers I've ever watched. But that's because I'm trying to contextualize him into what people make him out to be. Realistically, Frimpong is better than most footballers. Of course, duh. He has skills. He's pacey. He can do stuff. But for me, with the system he's in and the skill set or the strengths he has, his weaknesses make him unbearable. That's how I contextualize. So when I say Dembele is one of the worst wingers in the world, I don't mean, oh, Like, he is one of the better wingers in the world, of course. But what I mean is, in the context of who he's supposed to be and the kind of ability he already has, his weaknesses are annoying and unbearable to watch. That's what I'm referring to. So I think Dembele is annoying, and Olise is the opposite of players like Dembele and Kingsley Coman. These brainless footballers who have their head down when they run and dribble. I prefer Olise. I prefer that slow footballer. Now, I think you need players like Dembele and Coman when you have tired legs, because at that point, everyone's making bad decisions. So when they come in, they add to the bad decisions, and they don't look that bad. That's why, someone will come off the bench, like Doku, he'll come off the bench and start cooking because everyone's tired, man. Defenders are tired. Literally, I don't care how much cardio you do as a footballer, you get tired because that's how your body works. You just lose energy. You don't want to run. I don't want to make that tackle. So that's what I think is still necessary to have on the bench, but not as a starter. If you want to win games and create chances and have beautiful patterns, you need intelligent players. And company getting Olise is good. Xavi Simons is another one we're linked to. That's a number 10. I think Bayern is setting the stage to lose out on Florian Wirtz next season. Wirtz will stay at Leverkusen, by the way. There's no way he leaves. If he leaves, then Alonso would leave or something. I don't think that's going to happen. So Leverkusen are going to try everything to keep Wirtz. They might even give him a new contract with a higher pay just to keep him happy for a year because they want to win the league again. If Leverkusen win the league again, they're going to be thinking, well, we can spend money now, right? We can maybe do some things and make some deals happen. We'll get better sponsors and increase our pay there. We'll be able to attract better players. So they're going to really try. By the way, do you guys see that Netherlands versus France game? Xavi Simons was robbed. Let's put it that way. He was robbed. That goal was beautiful. It should have stood. I mean, nah. I think if Gakpo was still offside but slightly away from the keeper, it would have been better. But Gakpo is just stupid for just not even thinking I need to move and be onside. Because what if, someone shoots from the edge of the box and the keeper saves it and you're the only one that can get to the ball and try to, bounce it in. So Gakpo was just unintelligent all around. But I mean, it was just annoying that Xavi Simons scored a beautiful volley, man. It was so good. It was so. All right. Just had to sneeze right there. What do I think about Kalanoglu? Not Bayern level. This is the problem. Like, I need Herbal to be consistent. We can't keep doing this, man. We don't need Kalanoglu. What we need is Olise. If you're getting Simmons, get him. Something tells me Florian Wirtz is going to end up at Man City. He's going to replace De Bruyne, and he's a upgrade to De Bruyne because he's not a spam hero ball merchant who tries to play every beautiful pass. He's more of a calculated Pep-like player, and he can be trained into a robot. Something tells me because Foden is not as good as Wirtz. Wirtz is more of a goal threat. He's also more creative, and he moves into the half spaces really well. Him and Musiala are linking up very well at the Euros. So something tells me like we're gonna sign Simmons, and if we do sign Simmons, it's gonna be done with for the Vitz deal in 2025. By the way, guys, if you hit the like button, please do. Thoughts on Musiala cooking at the Euros? He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. See, this is the thing. Musiala, I feel like Musiala reminds me of me sometimes, where I can contribute to the team so much. By the way, last Sunday I was cooking. Like I look, you guys hate it. You call some people on Twitter calling me a narcissist for saying I had a good performance. But in the same exact tweet they read, I said last week I stunk the place out. My first touch was awful. So the week before that, I admitted and I said it on stream. I sucked. I was not cooking. I was Romelu Lukaku with the first touch. But I was cooking. I know it's a Sunday league game with, you know, people of all levels of quality. There's a 15-year-old kid that's really good, a 10-year-old that I think honestly, the kid is really good. Like if he's Indian, so my hope is that he gets pace. I don't know where he's getting it from genetically because Indians aren't like known for their speed. But if he can just hone in on his technical elegance, the kid is really gifted. He's playing right wing. He's right footed. He's nutmegging adults, and like some of the adults are good. Some of them are just trash. But myself, man, I'm not gonna lie. I played well. Look, I was involved. This is the thing. I wasn't just walking around, bro. I was playing as a lone midfielder. We had like 5 defenders, 5 attackers, and I'm just in the middle because that's how it is, right? Um, no, when I say 5 defenders, I mean it's just a fun game, and there's like 2 kids on each team. Two of the kids. There's a girl there. I don't know if she's a girl or just has long hair as a guy, but I think it's a girl. She's good. Like she's like really good. Like when I say good, I mean she tackles you. Like she'll win the ball back, and she's like half my height. She never won the ball back for me. I'm just saying, like against the other kids, she's better. But yeah, there's kids that can't kick a ball, but there's people that can. So it's kind of like a good mix of chaos. So I'm just in the middle. I'm dictating play. I'm press resistant. Yeah, bro, my first touch, which is awful, is getting better. Like I still need to learn because I don't know. The only thing you lose if you don't play ball for 4 years, like me, is you lose your first touch. Like you don't know how to. Like I used to just kill. Like ball comes in, pow. Like you just knew how to do it. Now it's like I don't know. Like I freak out, bro. I be acting like Goretzka, man. I don't show for the ball if it's in the air. Or I'm not trying to, but I stamped my foot down and I said, all right, I need to just at least try, and it was good. It was a okay first touch, but the other actions were really good. Happy with that. Muy happy with that. All right. Um, Look, I love what Olise is going to be. I love him. I think he is coming in to give us an element of technical elegance that we probably have with Musiala, but now we have it times 2. This is the thing. When you're in the Champions League, you don't want to see players like Kingsley Coman on the ball in front of goal. You want to see Olise because that boy is cold. He's going to finish. He's going to chip the keeper. So I want to see that. And then this adds like an incentive to Sane. Sane now has to be like, all right, I got to fix up. I got to fix up. George next Pavlovich. George stunk it up. Okay, if I stunk it up twice in a row, like I would not even mention my journey. I know you. I know you guys already, man. You're just here to bully me. It's okay. You're here to bully me. Who will be your preferred right back? I think. I'm not gonna lie. I think off the bat, it's gonna be Kimmich and Davies in the fullback position. And I really like how Nagelsmann has Middlestat and Kimmich playing. Um, Maximilian Mittelstadt. I like how Nagelsmann has both of them overlapping. I think that's boys. I gotta go blow my nose, man. I'm sounding like I'm under the weather, man. Man, I sound like a meteorologist. Okay, as I was saying, tired of Alfonso Pelvis. Nah, you guys are funny with these slandering. Hey, by the way, Messi. Well, not Messi. Di Maria, Messi. Everyone in Argentina was cooking Davies, man. El Capitan of Canada, and he was just getting cooked. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna be honest. I think Alfonso Davies had sauce because no one knew his qualities, but now everyone knows he's fast. And I think his ball carrying is somehow just not as good as it was because defenders just know, all right, Davies wants to go down the line and he wants to embarrass me, so I'll give him the space. And when Davies has space and he has to think, he has problems. Like he's not an intelligent footballer. He's a Davies is like what do you consider Davies? He's just someone that needs a certain kind of pass and position. Well, here's what I'll say. He's a good outlet. And by the way, I don't think his dribbling is bad. I think he's just if you give him time to think, like he falls apart. That's the difference, right? That's the problem. Davies would be good if like as soon as he received the ball, he had one task, get it forward. Like if he has to think like, oh man, that's why I think maybe company wants to keep him. Because company's like, I want you to do the same thing over and over again. Like Flick had the same thing with Davies. Flick gave Davies a map and said, this is how I want you to solve every problem. You get the ball, try to get it forward and pass it inside or cross and try to beat the defender with your pace. That was it. But now I feel like with managers that don't have a system, Davies has to try to solve problems on the fly, and that's not his thing. He has to have a set instruction, like do this every time. And the thing is, if he does it really well, like he'll receive the ball and he'll turn, run forward. Like that was his thing. But when he doesn't know what to do because the team doesn't have the same, movements coached into them, there's a problem. So I think that's why we see Davies suck. And then the managers told him, "Hey Davies, go forward. But if we lose the ball, I need you to come back, run back. You have pace." And then, you need to have a pressing structure to facilitate that. So I think Davies would work well in a very chaotic, team, and that's what company's going to come with. He's controlled chaos. That's what it is. Company is going to put our center backs on the halfway line in the press, which means all kinds of space in behind. And that's going to mean when we get beaten, Davies is going to run back and we're going to see those magic moments where he comes out of nowhere and gets the ball back. And like that's where he shines. So you use his strengths. Everyone thought it was a weakness under Hansi Flick, whenever, Davies had to rescue us. But no, I think it was actually good for him because it gave him moments where he shined using his ability. Like the reason he did that is because we were pressing so high, and either we won the ball 8 out of 10 times, or the two times that the ball got through, he would run back and look like a hero and won the fans. So Fonzie has lost that with these managers that don't play that inventive, expansive football, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see how Fonzie fits. So, but going back to the fullback question, because I think that was the question. Yeah, he's a moments player. Yeah. Sounds like Sane. Yeah, Sane, I feel when he has like 5 minutes to think, he starts losing his mind. So I agree with you on Sane there as well. But it just depends, right? It depends on what company wants to achieve. It really just depends. It depends. Bayern need an 8 that's good on the ball, as Paulinho is more of a destroyer. Well, I think the goal is to use Pavlovic and then have Paulinho as the destroyer. And I don't mind it now. If we're signing players like Olise, I don't mind. Like that's what I think. I think if we have technicians in the midfield like Simmons, Olise, Musiala. occupying those zones. I don't really. And then you have Pavlovich. I think I'm starting to kind of see the goal with Paulinho. And my only thing with Paulinho is we're paying all this money for a 29-year-old who's about to turn 30. Like, that's my only problem with him. But if you actually look at it, it's not that bad. It's not that bad because if he's experienced and we know what to expect from him. Yeah. And I think maybe he, like, on the ball, I don't think he's bad on the ball. I don't think he excels on it. And I was hoping we'd get someone like a Rodri, but it's not going to happen. So I would not mind Paulinho, to be honest, at this point. Because I want what I want is, if we lose the ball, someone's there to cover. Someone's there covering the space. And I think Paulinho covers a lot of ground. He's also like relatively quick and has good positioning. So maybe that's the point. And then in the press, I think he has that tackling ability to just lunge forward. I think he'll get a lot of yellow cards, and the tactical fouls, like, I don't mind that either. So yeah, I think that's all Bayern's buying him for. They're buying him for the volume of defensive actions, and they're hoping that translates to being, a destroyer. I happen to think Paulinho on the ball could be a liability. But with Pavlovich, I think we still need a midfielder, though. We need an 8. Like, even if we sign Paulinho, we got to sell Goretzka and sign a number 8. And I would, man, João Neves would be so good for that, because he could play as a 6, kind of evolve into that Thiago kind of number 6, where very technically gifted, but also defensively astute. If we had that, that'd be so good. That'd be so good. I'm excited for Olise. Yeah, I'm like a 9 in terms of excitement. Sane is a diva, pure poison for a team. So you're only saying that for no reason, because Sane is one of the most beloved players in the dressing room. The only player that never liked Sane was Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane was a crazy lunatic who punched people and married a 16-year-old. So yeah, nah, get out of here, man. How Davies is a diva now because of the whole renewal thing. But another thing that I think Olise does for us is he gives. I feel like we have a generation of players that don't connect to each other. So I think Muller, Neuer, these guys. I mean, Muller connects with Kane, but with Olise, my man is French, has a British accent. He's going to come here with, the ability to connect with younger players like Matisse Tel because of the French connection. But he's also going to connect with Musiala because their upbringing is kind of similar, where, born in a certain country. Well, actually, hold on. So Elise is French, yes. But he was born in London. He has a British accent, but I think he spent a lot of his life in France. Because that doesn't make like, he should have just picked the English national team, because it's easier to break into that than it is to the French national team. Hold on, I gotta figure this out. So he was born in England. He represented France at youth international level. Yeah, so I need to know whether or not he has picked the team. Like, I need to know. Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Like, did he pick his team yet? Okay, citizenship says France and England, right? So he's born in London. Okay. So my understanding is he speaks French. He has to. I mean, you don't represent the French team without speaking French. Speaking French. But yeah, I think he's going to come in and just kind of jive with the team. Oh, he speaks the language via his mom. who is Algerian. Ah, there we go. So his dad is a British Nigerian and his mama is a French Algerian. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like if he's able to come in and, you know, jive with Musiala. Thank God this boy don't wear dresses, man. Like Jules Koundé the other day was wearing high heels, man. Man, yeah, it's outrageous. Like, hey, that man must have a handler, man. Like how these rappers be wearing dresses. Nah, I was not impressed, bro. Jules Koundé. Thank God we never signed that bum. I don't know. I don't even know if we were linked to him. Ugh. Have you guys thought about Nianzu recently? Oof, pure hoops. Yeah, we're gonna be hooping. Yeah, have you guys thought about Nianzu recently? Tanguy Nianzu Kouassi. You guys thought about him? I just thought about him. He's still at Sevilla. Is he doing anything there? He's 22 years old now. That is so funny. We signed the kid when he was 17. Wow, time flies. He's 22. Jeez. Wow. I remember when we signed him and it was like this big deal. That was 4 years ago. 2020 was 4 years ago. Yo, I'm getting old, man. Dude, we signed that guy. I was 18 years old when we signed Young. Now I'm 22. Gosh. Yo, that's crazy, chat. That's crazy. Yo, to be honest, I'm glad I'm not a chick because I feel like if I wasn't married at 22 as a chick, well, at like 25, then it's like, because after a chick turns 30, like her dating pool is just ruined. Because right now, if a chick's like 22, like not only does every dude in general want to smash her, like if she's feminine and cool enough, guys that are doing really well in life at like 35 want to marry her, like at like 20. And I like some people were like, that's creepy. No, it's not. Like a guy's 35, she's 20. Like what's creepy about that? That's just the natural order of things because that 20 year old is actually attracted to the 35-year-old. It's just that's how it works. So like if I was 22 as a chick, I start feeling or 25, I start feeling pressure. But me, I'm like, man, if I keep working and building on myself as a man, I become way more like attractive over time. Whereas women just lose. It's a W method, man. W method. Hey, I feel bad for chicks, man. Y'all gotta go through all of that, and then by the time you're 30, no one wants you. Well, everyone wants to smash you because you're still somewhat attractive, but no one wants to like settle down and marry you. Oh, I have a meeting in 30 minutes. Let me make sure I pull up to that. Yeah. Yeah. That is crazy, right? Nyanzu disappeared. Yeah. I remember having really high hopes about him. But the reason I thought about Nyanzu is because Kunde went from Sevilla to Barcelona and Sevilla replaced Kunde with Nyanzu. So I was just thinking, like, man, what happened to Tanguy Nyanzu or Nyanzu? Yeah, we scammed Sevilla. Like someone said PSG scammed us. It was a free transfer. I mean, let's be honest. We thought he was like the next Boateng, right? Well, next Boateng without all the ladies committing suicide. But we thought he was the next big thing. And then Sevilla, signed him 2 years later for 16 million. So Sevilla really wasted money. It depends. Like the kid could just become really, really good. Like I think he still has that skill set. His reading of the game was good. Like any center back that can play midfield and hold their own is probably a really good center back because it proves they have good positioning. So yeah, man, maybe Tanguy Nianzu one day could still be the guy, man. My man's name is Tanguy Austin. Like what a crazy name, right? Austin. My man's name is Austin. They already changed the Wikipedia article to say Bayern. Olise. Really? Nah. I think. Wait. Oh yeah, the transfer window's not open, but we can do deals. Oh wow, that's crazy. Wait, what? Chat. This is so weird. Olise's Wikipedia page already says born in England. He's a winger for Bayern Munich. But then here it says current team TSV 1860 Munich. So somebody's funny. Somebody is funny. Olise was announced as a Bayern Munich player coming from the Prem. Actually, this is lying. This is a lie. Well, anybody can edit on Wikipedia. Like I can click this button right now and start editing. Just log in and start editing. Like I can edit stuff. So anyone can do Wikipedia. But I think the reason it's so funny is because I mean here Bayern Munich bought the play. Like somebody can't use English because first of all you wouldn't put the euro sign after the 50 and you wouldn't capitalize bot. I feel like the person that did this uses Twitter. This is Twitter grammar. I use Twitter like this. Like I'll capitalize words that don't need to be capitalized. Like if I type this on Twitter, I would probably capitalize the O in add-ons just to emphasize. But yeah, Twitter is different from normal English. Nonchalant dreadhead. I mean, that's what he is, man. He's a baller. He's a baller. You know, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm literally looking at real estate properties. Like this is a steal, in my opinion. You have a quadplex somewhere in the U.S. for $149,000, and it's 2 stories. I know it's in the hood, but this could be a really interesting investment. You could buy this, renovate it. Well, this is the problem. Like the people in that area probably can't afford the the cost of a higher rent, so you couldn't even increase the rents to make some good cash flow. Anyways, whatever. People who has dreads has aura. No, there's no aura. To be honest, I feel like the best aura is the player that looks the least, you know, intense. Some players just look intense. Oh, here's something I will say. We have a Euros right now. And I think the reason we're where we're at, the reason we're in the position we're at right now is where you're not hearing about a lot of transfers. I mean, the only big one was Mbappe and now Olise. And now everyone's feeling really good. It's because of the Euros. You see this during World Cup years as well. Teams want players, but out of respect for those players, they don't go for them until after a competition. Oh, by the way, so Bayern are negotiating for Xavi Simons now. Let me show you guys these stories. Let me show you guys. So Bayern are negotiating for Xavi Simons now, and apparently it's going to be a loan with an obligation to buy 60 million. Obviously, it's not going to be with an option to buy. What do you got? I think this is a lot of money, man. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Because we're locking ourselves into a player that maybe could still flop. No, I don't think he will flop. I mean, he went to Leipzig and replaced Nkunku really well. I think Leipzig as a team kind of declined, but Simmons stayed, at a good level. I think Simmons is a good just player to have with his story. I think he would fit our system. Him and Musiala can switch positions. Musiala would probably play more as a left winger, which is his best role. I don't think he's used wisely in the tight regions, even though he excels. sometimes you play the players where they get the most output, not where they they can still do really well. Like Musiala in the half spaces is dangerous, but I think out wide he's everything plus dangerous, right? He can dribble more, he can pass more, he can shoot more cutting in, and he can score more. Like I just want that. So, yeah, I think Simmons in the center would be good. We'll see. I mean, Xavi Simmons is kind of funny to me because he's so complete, but sometimes I'm like, what exactly do you sign a player like this for? But that's just because I don't remember what it's like to have a normal number 10. Simmons is a number 10. He's a number 10. I'm looking at his goals here. Yeah, he's like a I won't say Kaka, but he kind of just has that kind of like he's not Kaka, but I'll say that driving forward. He gets fouled a lot. Like, yeah, not like Kaka, but he gets into those kind of positions where he pushes forward. Because I don't know, like most number 10s are usually like David Silva, like Pep would say. Yeah, my boy said sell Kingsley Coman. Hey, everyone knows, the streets know. The streets know Kingsley Coman is muchas horrible, as the Spanish people say, man. As the wall crawlers say, muchas horrible. Is that what they say? Not sure. George is back. So, like, if I don't do a stream for a week, why do you assume I was I'm back? Don't you just know that I'm just not gonna ever do streams that consecutively, like every day? I'm never gonna do this every day, right? So I'm not back to anything. I'm just here as I always am, once a week. It was more than a week. It was like 10 days. I really wished Chris Richards worked out. I needed my American on the team. It was very unfortunate. And it was so funny that his aunt was watching this channel. Isn't that funny? Like we had a player's relative watching us just because we were that's so cool. Yeah, it would have been really cool thing to, see. But it is what it is, man. You win some, you lose some, yeah? You win some, you lose some. What was your stream for Ito? I wasn't interested, man. I was actually depressed about that. Ito apparently is a horrible guy, so I guess he replaces Boateng for trash human. Apparently, in Japan, he's known as this guy that forced a chick to get an abortion, bruh. That's crazy. But beyond that, I don't really care about the deal. I think he's just an option for us. Honestly, I think it's Bayern being greedy. Why don't we just keep Delit? Keep We don't need more center backs. Like how much are we on for spending on center backs now? Like 300 million in the last 4 or 5 years. We just spend for no reason on center backs. Kim Min Jae is still here. People forget about that. Kim's still a player for us. I don't know. I'm not interested. I mean, if company wants it, you do it because you're backing your manager, but whatever. Wow, the fact that Simmons is really coming to Bayern is kind of funny to me. But it's good because we're not just focused on some German players like Gruda. And by the way, I think Brian Gruda, he's a good player, but he might need an extra season to just try it out. Do you see the stats of Ito? Horrible. He wins no headers. That's another one. I don't think his physicality is there. He just does not have that présence. Le présence, as the French would say. Le présence. He doesn't have it. This guy can get pushed over easily. I think what he is a good understander of position, but nothing else. He can reach his leg out and tackle, but he doesn't really make me go, "Wow, this guy is unbeatable." No. So I think he's a backup. and that's why we spent 30 million on him. He's not like a starter. I think if Vincent Company had what he wanted, Delit would be gone. Upamecano would stay. I don't want Upa and Ito in the same team. I might only Ito I'm looking for is Samuel, man. Samuel Eto'o. That's the only one I'd want, man. And he's retired. So Olise 60 million or Chiesa 40 million. Obviously Olise. Olise is in form. He's younger and he has more of a ceiling. Whereas I think Chiesa could have been one of the best wingers in the world, but he's injury prone. Guys, injury proneness is the most dangerous thing for a player. Like, you can be the best player ever, but if you're injury prone, you're done for. By the way, Franz Kratzik, a lot of people were calling him the next Philip Lamb. He is going on loan to Stuttgart. They have an option to buy. I hope he turns out to be good, but he's going to be a backup for their left back. Whoa, yo, how did Poland get eliminated from the Euros? Bruh, they ain't even play. Yo, what? Chat, how did Poland already get eliminated? Oh, Levy returned? Oh, they got cooked today. They got piped. Oh, they're in the table with Austria. Oh, they lost twice. Oh, yeah, they're cooked. So Netherlands are on top with 1 win, 1 draw. France could get dumped out. That would be a huge surprise, man. France could literally go get dumped out. Because if Poland really just want to, cook France, like they would. Oh, actually, let me analyze this real fast. So in this group, this is the hardest group. So I don't blame Poland for. Yeah, it's like France and Netherlands. They were always going to win. But if Austria holds a draw versus Netherlands, Netherlands win the group. But if France loses to Poland, they're cooked. If Austria beats France, no, if Poland, no, if Austria beats the Netherlands, France would need a draw. Yeah, the problem with France is they have less goals scored, so than the Netherlands. So the Netherlands would go through. So that could be really interesting. Um, but realistically, we know Mbappe is going to be back, and France is going to put like 5 goals past Poland, and the Netherlands are going to beat Austria. Austria are not that like finished. They could have like beaten France. Austria could have equalized that game at so many different moments, but they missed some chances. I think, yeah, Euros is getting interesting now, man. I feel like this tournament should have been longer. I feel like it could have been longer. Spain, yeah, I mean, Spain already qualified. Doesn't even matter if they lose. They're going to win their group. Italy, I don't know. I think Croatia is going to find a way. But at the same time, like no one's really informed for Croatia. Modric is too old. And yeah, no, nah, Croatia don't have the teeth that Italy have, even though Italy don't have that. Like Italy have teeth, but they're baby teeth, and Croatia just don't have teeth. Germany winning their group. I mean, Hungary versus Germany should be a really. Oh no, it's Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland versus Germany. Hey, I need to see a Musiala like cook. I need to see a Musiala cookage. But Germany with the most goals so far. Was today the first game where we had a draw in this tournament? Or no, it wasn't the first game where we had a draw. It was the first game where there was no goals. England, I think England are still very vulnerable. I mean, the way they drew to Denmark, Slovenia could come through and they ain't gonna do nothing, man. Slovenia ain't going. But hey, maybe you give Sesko some chances, you might score. Next thing you know, you're out of the competition. England are very vulnerable. But yeah, Euros are looking real fun so far. Yeah, they're cooked. Spain was destroying them. Yeah, hey, Spain should have scored like 50 goals against Italy, man. Pedri, Yamal, hey, I might not have understood his game, man. Yamal's next level. I'm a fan of Yamal, man. Yamal, Yamal, Yamal. Yeah, I like Yamal, man. I like what he's about. Southgate is awful. He is. I mean, if I had the talent England did, I think I would be a better coach. It's so easy to coach England because most of their players play for really good managers. Stones plays for Pep. Foden plays for Pep. Bellingham plays for Carlo Ancelotti. Who else? Wharton plays for Oliver Glasner. Teams that try to be really good in possession, even though Crystal Palace aren't ever going to win like with 90% possession, but they still are good when they have the ball. So if that's the case, I'm playing a midfield of Wharton because I think he can be a very good player in possession. I would play Bellingham and I would go Kobe Mino. Again, Kobe Mino is another really good possession player. And then at the back, I'd go Stones. I would go that black guy. And then right back, I would go Kyle Walker's a bum, to be honest. Like this dude is just for a guy that plays for Pep. Like I feel like he plays like a Mourinho player, just physical. Like I don't, bro. Kyle Walker has never passed the ball, and I went, wow. Or he has never dribbled. Nah, I would just. I don't know who you'd play though. Now I'd play him for the defensive stability, and then left back, I'd go with Chilwell or something. No, who's the Trippier? Like, all right, Trippier. Like, maybe Chilwell's injured. Okay, I mean, ideally you'd play Reece James at right back because he's better than Walker at like multiple things. But Reece James is built with sand. The guy just falls apart easily. Okay, attack. I would go with Kane. Obviously, KSI, bruh. Your forehead doesn't mean you have a big brain. This guy really said England need to take Kane off. They won't win anything with Kane. Kane is literally the only reason the ball sticks up top with England. Stupid. This guy is so limited intellectually that he can't realize, maybe it's that prime he's drinking. He can't realize that you have a very good striker who's surrounded by players that are good in a terrible system. So Kane needs, like, bro, I was literally watching Kane drop into the midfield to get the ball and move it. Bro, Kane is doing everything for these bums. Well, I wouldn't call them bums. I'd call Southgate the bum. But Kane, I'd probably go. No, I want to do a 3-man midfield where Bellingham can join the attack. Mino's like a 8, and then you have Adam Wharton. I don't really rate Declan Rice. Like I'm not really jiving with him. Like he's not my taste. I think he tries too hard to be things he's not. He's just a Brexit footballer, man. Just a proper player. Like that's all he is. He's a get your get your foot stuck in. Like that's what he is to me. He's just not that level. He should probably start representing Scotland or something. So I would go Kane. I feel like I'm not. I like Saka, but I don't really know if he would. Huh? I because I want to play Cole Palmer. I might do two strike. Yeah, but I need some more. I'd go Saka. I would go so Kane, Saka, and I feel like I want another striker. I don't know who. Jack Grealish. What am I cooking? Yeah, I would call up Jack Grealish. Yeah, and then bro, I would just play possession oriented. Like I just pick players for their ability to keep the ball and move it and be intelligent when they have it. I mean, if I really wanted to go all out, I'd go with Cole Palmer instead of Saka, but that's because I'm racist. Uh, and I think Saka is actually intelligent somewhat. So, yeah, like, why isn't Southgate doing that? And then he'll take off this Trent Alexander-Arnold, he'll take him off, and then he'll bring on Conor Gallagher. Like, what? This guy, man, it's crazy. Oh, see, that's what I would have done if I was just trying to have a team full of strikers. So I'm not going to do. Ivan Toney would be really interesting. Yeah, him and Kane. How my coaching badges going? So I have the first one, the first tier. I need to sign up for another class, and I'm waiting for an opportunity. I have a team that wants me to coach as an assistant, and I want to do that because it's better to start somewhere as opposed to just going all the way in. So I have I have 2 compliance assignments that I completed, and I have licenses for both. I need to get a CPR license. So if a player's cooked, I got to be able to rescue them, like Jesus, bring them back to life. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm gonna call 911 and say we tried, bro. I'm not kissing a man, bro. That's crazy. Nah. See, that's the thing. I'll be an assistant, so I don't have to deal with that. Yeah, that's not in my purview of responsibility. Yeah. But yeah, I completed like 4 hours so far. And now I just need to do the next stage, right? The next stage. So actually I need one, two, three, four of these stages. And then I move on to the next level, which is D, C, B, and then I get my A license, which is the youth license. Or no, I can get an A senior license. Oh, I need both, I think. And then I'm already on my way. So, and then it takes 120 hours to get one of the bruh, that's crazy. This one takes 55 hours. Wow. That's nuts. So all in all, I might spend the whole day. What if it's the head coach that needs CPR? Nah, man. Then I have a new job the next day, man. I ain't doing all that, man. You gonna die, bro. I'm not doing the FIFA one. Well, even if I did, I'd still need to do the United States ones. I'd still, I mean, realistically, you don't need badges to coach anywhere. If a club likes you, they'll bring you in. But if you want to start getting to coach like for real, then you want to do the assignments and get through it. I wonder how often you got to renew it because they would of course want you to do the course again like an idiot, just do it over and over again. But I just need to keep signing up for the courses when they show up and get it done, get her done. All right, thank you everyone so much for watching. I have a meeting to get to. Mia, send me and peace.